polite brotherhood, which was aesthetic, aesthetic movement, which is pretty much like about nature and beauty, you know, because he was a painter. That's what he was famous for, being a painter. You know. And see, these are what the pre-aesthetic brotherhood. That's what they did right there. You see how their art is like, well, pretty much is beautiful. And what she did, she was kind of part of it too because she was a model for most of their art. I guess you can like kind of see maybe some of the facial shapes in there. All right. Now this is where she met her first suitor. You can go to the next one. Right here, this is where she met James Collison, and that was like love of her life. And he was also in the brotherhood too. But the reason why she broke the engagement was because she was of the Anglican religion, and he decided to be a Roman Catholic. So, you know, that didn't make it at all. So they broke the engagement. And so right here, I guess a couple years later, this was Charles Bagot Callie, and she fell in love with him too, but ended up breaking the engagement because he didn't know what he wanted to be. Like religiously, he didn't know what he wanted to be. All right. And so since like she had these two broken engagements and couldn't pretty much find anybody that she loved, you know, stuff like that, she wrote about it in her poetry. And so that's why you kind of see the loss of love and kind of, you know, some of her poems. All right, now her health. She was sick most of the time in her life. So she had this called Graves' disease, which pretty much is